Get your popcorn and your butter.
Hello, welcome. I'm here with Bare Hands Beran. All right, this is this is the first. Well, I guess this is the first week where we hit another Wednesday.
Yes. Yeah. So at least we got the Wednesdays consistent.
Yeah.
We're still trying to work out what time does everybody want to see us.
Well, and then we're also working out our schedule too.
Oh yeah, we have a schedule too.
It's a busy day today.
We do have some type of a life.
If you're not anywhere near the St. Louis area, it did snow overnight.
Yeah, and so a lot of our volunteers and people that are normally
what are you listening to right now? Get that out of here.
It's the YouTube live.
Oh well, yeah. Let's not.
I'm just turning it all the way down.
So we usually have animal care come in the mornings. Shout out Sage.
Hey Sage.
But
stay safe.
The road
Don't try to come in.
Were pretty bad. So Michael was in this morning doing a lot of animal care activities.
Yeah.
And now we're live. My dog's playing with a bone right now.
Can you hear that tap tap tapping? Tap tap. That's Gravy chewing on a big old. Looks like a deer. I don't know. It might be a mammoth bone.
It's an antler.
Oh, it's an antler.
We'll see if he starts clicking away again.
Yeah. So today we've got a pretty good lineup, I think. We're going to start out with Rocky.
I wonder if they've even noticed the ginormous owl sitting in the background.
Can they even see it?
It's kind of blended in.
He does blend in pretty good.
A little bit. So.
He does blend in really good. Hey, what about the audio, guys? Is the audio better for you like it is for me? We went through a lot of trouble to set up a different type of audio system so you could hear me better. And we're interested to know how that's working out. What do you think about that? Also, we're going to start this tradition and we're going to run with it, but we're going to have a prize box today. And inside the prize box, I'm going to have a card.
Which I need you to sign. Forgot to do that.
Oh, you want me to autograph the card?
I kind of like you doing it live,
Okay. So that they can see I really did it?
Yeah.
All right. Let's see. Who's going to win today? Is it going to be Andre? Is it going to be Wildlife Fit? Maybe it'll be Joe. I don't know.
Did you tell them about the new contest rules yet? No?
I did not speak about the contest. I was going to build up the suspense and show them what was in the prize box first. But first, let me autograph this. And then what I'll do is whoever wins it, I'll put your name up here in the corner just so that it's more personalized. Okay.
I'm trying to catch up on the chat here, gang. There's a lot of comments coming in.
All right. Well, so we will have some help coming in for comment. The prize box. So autographed. And this is our Animal Planet Discovery Plus show. It's called Bare Hands Rescue. There's a QR code right here that you can show your friends and they can scan it, get right to the YouTube channel. But in the prize box that you will win today, you're going to win one of these really cool Wildlife Command Center multi-tools. We used to call them Swiss Army knives. It's got corkscrew on it, Phillips head screwdriver. It's got a couple of different blades on it. It's got a can opener. It's got a bottle opener. So pretty handy. That's going to be in this. It's going to be in a prize box.
It's going to eat the lemurs Fruit Loops while we're here.
Okay. Well, I got a different bowl for the lemurs.
Oh.
So whenever we stress the lemurs out, bring them inside. We always give them Fruit Loops as a bribe to sell them down. You're going to get 2 bags of Wildlife Command Center coffee.
It's my favorite coffee.
It is amazing coffee.
The coffee's got a long backstory.
Yeah, it really does.
We'll
have to tell that one time, but not today.
I've got a video idea for the coffee. I think I told you about it a long time ago.
Yeah.
It's a blind taste test.
Okay.
Yeah, against like Starbucks and McDonald's, because this coffee's really good.
It really is.
Like I truly think if we did a blind taste test, people would pick Wildlife Command Center coffee.
Okay.
And it's from a small batch roaster, but we're not going to get into that story. Michael talks like 20 minutes long about it.
I really do get into it because it was a great story. It has to do with a famous chef from New Orleans. It has to do with 25-pound nutria rats out of the swamps of Louisiana.
He's starting to do it.
All right. It's already good. Anyway, the other is a Wildlife Command Center Challenge coin. This is a heavy-duty coin. I fashioned it after the challenge coins from my submarine when I spent time in the Navy on a nuclear submarine working on nuclear missiles. So we'll remind people again for this. We're going to have one question, and we're going to bring it up later, but we're going to have one question, and whoever types the correct answer, the perfect correct answer, will win. You got to be first one to hit send. you'll be first, and you'll win that that prize box, and I'll ship it to you. Unless, like Andre, you're in St. Louis, and then you can just come out and spend an hour with us or so, and I'll give it to you yourself. What do you think about that?
I think it's
How's
great.
that going to turn out?
I'm already being made fun of in the comments. So
Oh, okay. What is being made fun of?
I don't know. Couldn't really pick up on it. There's a lot going on. Like
All right, so let's get to it. We we have a lot of animals, and we have to care for those animals, and some of it is preventative, like this. Like we're going to do today is we're going to get one of his anklets. So we put a leather anklet on them, and then to that leather anklet we attach a jess, and then to the jess we attach a swivel, and then a leash. And whenever we have them inside, like he is right now, that's how we contain him so he doesn't tear everything up. I'm gonna put him right here so that we can work on him. He is really good, so I'm not gonna have to cast him or do anything that dramatic with him. He'll let me work on him while he's right here, but I'm gonna take the left off and I'm gonna modify it, turn inside out, because it's been flipping inside out and causing a few problems.
Jenna's on here underneath Wildlife Command Center. I'm under Wildlife Command Center. Got 2 Wildlife Command Centers on the live chat.
Okay, well, why don't you ask Jenna to go ahead and log into her personal account?
I did do that.
Good.
Let's go. Let's hear for Rocky, everyone.
Hey, Rocky.
Rocky, welcome to the show.
Yeah.
Rocky's been very hissy today. In fact, Michael didn't tell me he was bringing Rocky into the office, and I had my head down.
It was fun.
I walked in and just got the bejesus scared out of me. He is mugging me.
He was hissing.
Not about me today.
So just a little bit on Rocky. Rocky is a Eurasian eagle owl. He is the largest species of owl in the world. The females are about twice this size, at about 13 pounds. The males typically are 7 pounds, but Rocky here is runt. He's only 5 pounds, but he's almost twice as large as a great horned owl. Most great horned owls are about 3.5 pounds, big females. But anyway, look at these impressive wings. I hope he doesn't go crazy. Let me see your wings. There you go. Nice.
It's beautiful.
Was that beautiful?
Well displayed.
Could you step? Thank you.
Well,
Appreciate it.
You guys heard that one.
All right. Yeah.
Batted the microphone.
So I know you can't see me that well, but I am not going to tie Rocky off, because if he does bait,
he'll flame every.
He will ruin everything on this table.
The more we get into this, the more I realize this has been a terrible decision. Everything.
Like some things in life. But if he baits, I'm just going to let him fly off, and then I'll go get him. That way he won't crush everything. It would be good if you turned. Could you turn this way for me?
So someone did ask, I missed this on the chat, but somebody did ask about the coffee. The coffee in the box will be our dark roast, which is my favorite. And I am not a dark roast person, but there's something about this coffee that doesn't taste like your typical dark roast. But we do have a breakfast blend. At breakfast.
Yes, but I don't have a lot of the breakfast blend left, so you're getting dark roast.
The dark roast, honestly, is my favorite. I'm not a dark roast person.
All right, so
get out of here. Get up.
So this is a jess, all right, and it's the small intermediate piece between the swivel and the leash, and it's part of the equipment we use to keep them on. This was made by a falconer. It's got a little brass button on one end that's attached through there, and then it's woven, and then it's got a slit, and that goes on the other end. This is the anklet right here, this little piece of leather right here, and this is a two-piece anklet. And what's been happening is it's been flipping inside out and getting twisted, and so it's very difficult to catch him up. So what I think I'm going to do to fix this problem is I am going to punch a hole through this leather right here.
Sweaty.
Getting sweaty.
Yeah.
It's okay. He's going to be fine. Hey, look at the camera. Look at the camera. Here. Look at the camera.
Usually I make my little bird noises if he's up for a photo op and he looks my way.
So anyway, I'm going to line the holes up.
Looks great.
Yeah. I'm going to punch it right here. We'll put a hole through. Maybe I'm going to put it further back here. Pretty happy about that placement right there.
Did we give them the question for the giveaway?
No, I didn't
box?
want to yet.
Okay.
So
We'll
what I
stay tuned.
wanted to do, I wanted enough people to show up online that so if everybody could just like come in slowly, if you're gonna come in.
Jennifer's coming in.
Yay, Jennifer,
Our security dog's giving us notice.
letting us know.
You can't come up here without getting noticed.
I cannot sneak up here. That's for sure. Now that I've done this one anklet, I realize I'm gonna have to do both anklets because doing just one of them is not gonna work that great. So
Can you talk about Rocky's eyes? Because that's just
his eyes are amazing.
they look like I could just like pull them out of his head. They look like perfect marbles.
Yeah. So so the eyes on most owls take up a little bit less than half of their skull size. So what you can see here, which is pretty amazing, is only about a third of the size of that eye. The rest of this eye here, look here.
Yeah, give him a little snicker, Jennifer. See if you can get him to look your way.
So those eyes, which are huge, they're like 2/3 of that eye is behind what you can see right there, and it takes up most of their skull. So it's so that they can see really well at night. And the Eurasian eagle owls are very, very orange, where a great horned owls are very yellow. So they have yellow eyes.
Yeah, this is the easiest
Yeah,
way.
you just jump in and start answering.
A lot of
questions.
people think that Rocky is a great horned owl, and the easiest way to tell the difference is that eye color.
The eye color, definitely. But of course, if you saw a great horned owl next to an eagle owl, they definitely have a different color in their pattern of their plumage, but also the size difference. Like Rocky here is just so much bigger than a great horned owl. It's not even funny. So I'm gonna redo this other Jess. Let's see if he'll take a step here. I would love for him to turn around. I just don't want to make him flap and fly.
Go on your individual page.
Well, I was gonna let her be bare hands Beran.
Oh, that too.
I had it on the chat. Technical difficulty. So anyway,
Gosh,
Jennifer's going to help me out here a little bit. So just so y'all know, when y'all see Bare Hands Beran answering questions, it's not really me because I'm over here. She's over there. All right. So anyway, the problem is these anklets keep flipping inside out, and so we've got to fix that.
I see your guys' questions coming in, but we're not going to get into it at this very moment because this is a critical stage. So I don't want Michael to get sidetracked while he's fixing the anklet here.
Yeah, definitely got to fix the anklet. As soon as we're done with this, we'll do questions and answers.
This isn't a dangerous activity by any means, but anytime an owl
got a bird this big
or a hawk only has one anklet on, it gets tricky because if they fledge, is that the right word?
Bait.
They can actually potentially injure themselves. So we just want to make sure we're being safe with the birdies in mind.
Not to mention he'll completely destroy everything on this table. Like it's not a pretty sight. So there are 3 different kinds of anklets that you can put on a bird. These are the traditional kind that pull through each other. They're not great for keeping a bird in the mews because they really rely on the jess, this little button on the jess, to hold them together. However, I misplaced my grommet setting tool. And we have a special setting tool for grommets for birds of prey that's safe to use around their anklets.
I think I know where it's at.
You know, it's orange. But anyway, permanent anklets have a grommet through the end right here. And it's a brass, usually grommet, and they hold it together, and that's like a permanent anklet. And then the other type that you can use is a combination. It's like a hybrid between the traditional anklets and the permanent anklets. And that's kind of what we're doing right here. Is we've got a stay, if you will, to keep the anklets together, but this definitely passes through the other edge of the leading edge of the leather so that it will stay together. Anyway, this is going to work. This is going to work beautifully. I can already tell it's not going to turn inside out. And that way, we won't have problems when other people go in to pick Rocky up. So let's Let's go. Let's take some questions about Eurasian eagle owls and Rocky.
All right, so I got a couple already in the chat here.
All right.
First off, how old is Rocky?
Rocky was hatched out. He's about 8 years old right now. You can tell we call him. He's been intermewed 8 times, and so what that means is he has molted out in a mews 8 different times. So he's 8 years old, which is still a youngster because they live to be about 35 years old in captivity. In the wild, which is very difficult. The wild is very difficult. In the wild, they live 10 to 12 years, and so with good veterinary care, nice warm place to sleep every night, food every day. They live in captivity a lot longer.
Then are you able to show us how long his legs are?
Yeah, so I can do that. I'm going to move my coffee cup over here. You might want to protect your computer. So his legs. So the reason why owls' legs are as longer than they look is because of the way they position their upper thigh bone. So I'm gonna hold on to him. Let's see if he'll participate. As you can see, he's got long pants on right there. That's the best I can do without getting them all riled up.
Got some good wing ASMR there, I bet.
I'll bet. What did that sound like?
I don't know.
So what happens with the leg is we have, this thigh bone, then we got our knee, then our lower leg bone, and then our foot bone. Well, with theirs, what happens is this would be this right back here is his knee, which is literally backwards. And then he's got this part of his bone, and then the thigh bone sits this way, like that. And so when he stretches that leg out, then all of a sudden you got 3 bones that stretch all the way out. So it makes their legs look a lot longer than they look when he's sitting like this, because he's got a bone going this way, he's got a bone going that way, and he's got this bone right here going this way.
A lot of people
That's
ask
why.
how these birds do outside, like in the wintertime, and Rocky's probably most made for those cold weather conditions.
Yeah. So Rocky's name, he is a Eurasian eagle owl. So that mountain range that separates Asia and Europe is the Mongolian mountain range, and that's where
Great beef.
they love it.
Great beef.
They have good beef in Mongolia.
Mongolian beef.
Mongolia. What's that place where you do the stir fry? Anyway, so it gets cold there, and you see these modified feathers on his feet. Those looks like fur, but it's not fur, it's feathers. And so whenever it's single digits, he's happy. Like, he's really happy when it's single digits, and he stays outside. He's one of the few birds that will stay outside during single digits.
Your face is directly covered right now, just so you know. Yeah. Try to dodge one way or the other if you could. No pressure. And wrangle the bird. We can answer everything.
I'll just look over his shoulder like this.
Hey, Michael, have you ever been pecked in the face by a bird?
Yes, I have been pecked in the face by many birds.
It's really not the pecking.
You know, the worst one ever. Okay. So I was in Louisiana, and I had 2 Harris hawks, and I used to fly Harris hawks with a falconer named Miss Francie. But my bird and her bird just loved to go after great blue herrings. Great blue herrings are really big water birds, and they have this really long spear for a beak. Well, our birds had caught one time, and it was out in a pond, and so I waded out there to get it, and I was trying to get the hawks off of the heron because that spear can kill a Harris hawk. And so I was wrangling it all, and somehow during that period of time, that heron went from my eye. Luckily, he missed, but he hit me right here in the cheekbone. And I mean, he just got me good. It's the worst peck from a bird that I ever got. It was a spear. It was like he speared me, So it was one of those crazy things. Anyway, I've been footed. When I was a young falconer, I decided that I needed to go trap my first red tail by myself. And that red tail footed me with both feet, both hands. I was handcuffed to the trap and the bird on the side of the road. That was interesting. There's a lot of blood involved with that. But birds of prey in general definitely are to be taken seriously. They can hurt you.
I liked your original. Remember, I asked you, when's the first time you remember rescuing an owl? Remember that story?
No, I don't.
When you're little in the
no.
chicken yard.
Oh yeah, I do remember that story.
That's one of my favorite
Yeah,
stories.
so that is the very first time that that I one had a bad encounter with an owl. Two, it was the first time I physically picked up an owl.
How old were you?
7, 8, 9. I mean,
normal stuff.
I can just remember that we were in Hitchcock, Texas. My grandma and grandpa on my mom's side, and they had this huge chicken yard. Like they had 50, 60, maybe 100 chickens. I don't remember, but a lot of chickens. I'll just put it this way. For breakfast every morning, we ate 2 dozen eggs when we were there visiting, and they had plenty of eggs. But anyway, we were out there about 7, 8 o'clock at night. It was getting dark, and there was something on the ground, and I ran over to see what it was, and it was a screech owl, so it was only like this big, little bitty thing. I was like, oh, this is so cool. So I picked it up like this, and I was holding it. And one thing about me when I was a kid, and I'll tell these stories all the time, is when I was young, I wore no shoes, no socks. I wore cut off blue jeans, and I wore no shirt. So I was usually filthy, so filthy that when I sweat, it would just like rivulets of like little rivers running down me. That's how dirty I was. Anyway, so I'm holding this owl like this, and it just latches into my belly with both talons. And I mean, right through the skin. And blood starts pouring out. And I'm like in shock because I was like, oh my God, what do I do? And by the time I ran up I was going to go get my grandparents, which is, you don't do that ever. But I was going to go get my grandparents. And just about the time I ran up to the gate, it let go. And that was enough for me to go, bye, owl. See you later. But anyway, there was a lot of blood involved with that.
I like the good stories,
More questions.
Well, I feel like we're at a pretty good time.
All right.
I've been keeping up with it.
Nice.
People are asking.
What do you guys? So there's a couple of things that I want to ask. One, what is the best time to do a live? There's no prize for answering this question. Although the dog just hit the camera.
It's fine.
What is the best time to do a live? There is no prize for answering this question. We just need your answers.
We're thinking about Wednesday afternoons.
I like Wednesdays. Wednesday's middle of the week.
Afternoon.
Things have kind of calmed down.
Hump day pickup, Just pick me up halfway through the week,
I like it. The other thing is, what do you guys think about next week, Wednesday, when we do our live, if we give away one of these cool Wildlife Command Center mugs instead of coffee?
Ooh.
I like the mugs.
Ooh.
It's going to be really funny. One day we're going to get a Raptor rescue call in the middle of one of these lives. We're just going to have to shut it down. I never thought about that.
Can't we just throw it on live and take it on the cell phone?
Yeah,
I guess I could stop it and go live or something like that too. So, I got to drop everything. I grab the camera and you got to get what you need.
So what y'all think? Next week we do a coffee cup for the prize pack. Speaking of the prize pack, look what's in this prize pack. So you're going to get an autographed Bare Hands Beran card. You're going to get one of these really cool Wildlife Command Center multi-tool pocket knives. You're going to get a challenge coin. And, I forgot. You're also going to get a Wildlife Command Center pen that writes in blue, which is for your signing legal documents. It's got to be in blue now. And then you're going to get 2 bags.
Disclaimer, the back spring breaks pretty frequently. So watch out for
Not
that.
on this one.
Listen, I've used a lot of those.
Hey,
pens.
but the other thing is on this end, you got a stylus. Look
You
at
do.
that.
I don't
You
use
do have a
styluses.
stylus.
It's not as big for me.
And then you get 2 bags of Wildlife Command Center coffee. And if y'all think I'm getting too close to Rocky, he'll probably bite me right in the nose.
Rocky's very used to people.
Yeah, he's used to being in the public eye.
He's the main star at most of the bird events we're at.
He really is. So anyway, be ready because we're going to ask that question, and it's got to be the complete correct answer to win.
Got a question from Hear This. Do owls always sleep on their belly?
Owls sleep standing up. Yeah. Owls always sleep like this. Like he'll tuck his head behind his wing right here, and they sleep standing up on one foot. So he'll lift one foot.
A lot of people will call him
Like this.
mistakenly thinking they see an injured hawk or an owl, and they're like, "Oh, it has one leg only."
And That's because when owls are at rest, they one leg goes all the way up like this. See, he only has one leg. Hey, you want to turn around? Nope, don't bark. Stop. Sorry about that.
It's just gravy.
It's just gravy.
Some gravy ambiance.
All right, so we got both of his anklets fixed. I'm pretty happy with the fix on that. I think it's going to work out great. Got some new kangaroo leather on him. We got the jesses on him right here. We got the swivel right here so the jesses don't get tangled up. We got the leash. I'm not going to take him outside right now, but I am going to put him back on this pole perch.
Gravy. Shh. Smooth as butter.
Didn't tear too much up.
I didn't realize the dismount was happening, and just went for a basic cover of everything for a moment, you know.
All right, I'm going to take a minute before we get our next guest out, and just answer a couple more questions.
Yeah, you guys can also, there's some stuff going on in the chat regarding our merch, our coffee. I made up a Linktree link to make it really convenient. Our website, our merch, our coffee, our socials, everything is in that link that is in the description. And there's also a direct link to our merch store if you want to check out some of the cool, unique designs. Taylor, who is my significant other, who lives here at Wildlife Command Center with me, she did some really cool custom designs. And I'm a big fan of the free cuddles. I know you like the I don't participate in pain.
I just got my hoodie for I don't participate in pain.
Yeah. Ooh, Gravy's like, what's going on with his owl?
He's not liking that.
Come here, boy. Sit. You sit.
As you can see, he's getting bigger.
So check out the description and see that. I want to get into the prize question. I'm really excited about that.
All right. Everybody ready? We're about halfway done, guys. So to remind you what the prize pack is, an autographed card, Wildlife Command Center, a Wildlife Command Center multi-tool, a challenge coin that was based off of my submarine challenge coin, Wildlife Command Center pin, and 2 amazing bags of Wildlife Command Center dark roast coffee. And I will ship it to you. All right, so what is the question?
Ryan and Gravy are just having a sit-off right now. You really see how much they fluff up, though.
Oh, yeah. Well, he's not even fluffed up, Max.
No. Oh, there we go.
Now he's
wow, that was like Jigglypuff. Like
yeah.
all of a sudden.
Jigglypuff.
There's a lot of Pokemon references going on in this
Pokemon
chat.
references. I like Pokemon. Pokemon's good. Yeah. Yes, Cole.
Hit him with the question.
All right, guys, here's the question. You have to go to the first video we videoed in the Pacific Northwest that we dropped.
Exploring the Pacific Northwest with Beran.
Which was an amazing video. If you haven't watched it, watch it. Make sure you watch all the commercials, like all the way through. Watch the video because it was incredible. It was like Jurassic Park all over again. But anyway, while we were out there, we came across a creature. And we didn't actually see the creature. However, we saw the evidence of the creature. And here's the question. I speak about a bid that I did for the National Forestry Division to eliminate this nuisance animal that the National Forest Association was having a problem with. What is that animal? There's the question. What is the animal that I bid on for the National Forest to remove because it was becoming a nuisance for them whenever they were doing a particular project? So it's got to be the right, correct answer.
What is the animal that I bid on in the Pacific Northwest?
Mm-hmm. It's a nuisance animal that was a problem for the National Forestry.
So we've got answers already. First answer was, is it a minx? Next one is
It's not a lynx.
We're not gonna do this. I think let them go. You know, and it has to be specific.
All right, it's got to be exactly correct.
Yeah. We're looking for the exact answer. So we're getting the ballpark.
They're keeping up with it.
We're very close here.
They're keeping up with it. All right, so I'm going to go get Artemis because one of our animal care technicians said that Artemis had a spot on him. So I'm gonna get him for a general health check, and then we're going to medicate him with this silver solvadine cream. This stuff is like the silver bullet to fix reptiles. I mean, it literally will fix so many things. It's just it is. I mean, nothing is really a silver bullet, but this will fix just so many small, minor skin problems on reptiles. So anyway, while I do that, Cole is going to tell you a story about the very first rescue that he and I went on when he started here some 18 months ago.
The very first?
Or whatever one you can remember.
Well, the very first one was kind of sad. So, a lot of people don't realize there's a lot of ups and downs in regards to nuisance wildlife and rescuing animals and being the first person, the first point of contact. So it's not always rainbows and butterflies on every single situation. But I think the nice story is our first raptor rescue that we had.
Oh.
And it really couldn't have been any more perfect. It was at a
Tell us about it.
It was at a warehouse. We get a lot of warehouse calls for birds of prey because they end up finding themselves into these warehouses. They chase a mouse or a rat or something inside, and they get stuck in there and can't make their way out. But this warehouse was perfectly lit.
Oh, I remember.
Like if you were to look for a movie set to be as lit and perfect as this facility was, you couldn't find it. And but since it was my first time out, like in a warehouse, looking for a hawk with Michael underneath the circumstances, I had a really difficult time pinpointing where it was in the ceiling. And the ceilings were how tall? Like 60 feet?
Not 60, but really tall.
Yeah, they were really tall.
More
ceilings.
than 30 feet.
And so Michael's just pointing up in the air, and he's like, "It's right there. Just get it on camera." I'm like, "You're pointing to like the middle of this huge warehouse." I'm like, "I do not see where it's at." But we did. That was a successful capture. It is on our channel. It's the very first video on our raptor rescue.
Yeah, we also did
playlist.
a short with it too. It's also on your TikTok.
Really nice slow-mo shot of it was a Cooper's hawk.
Yeah, it was a juvenile Cooper's hawk, but the lighting was so perfect. It looked like it was in a studio. Like it was insane how perfect the lighting was.
I'm gonna ask Michael, is this a qualified answer for the trivia question? Because I had someone.
Where are we looking at?
So this was the first.
That was close, but not
and
right.
This is the second.
There's a word missing.
Oh.
So maybe I should give them one hint.
Well, we just got it.
Yes. All right.
So we're gonna give this prize package
to
Kate.
Kate.
For the Northern Pocket Gopher.
The Northern Pocket Gopher.
There was a couple of you that were very close. Willie.
Somebody said pocket gopher. Somebody said gopher.
I hate it because I love Willie too.
Willie is
Willie
great.
is such a designated subscriber.
But when you do these things, you gotta have. It's got to be perfect.
Shout out to Justin. He put us on the right track originally.
Did he say pocket gopher?
He said gopher.
Gopher.
So you guys are right there. But if this was Wheel of Fortune, you got to have it pronounced correct and everything.
Yeah.
So
and she spelled it properly too.
Yeah.
So the Northern Pocket Gopher. And what that refers to is that these gophers have fur-lined pouches or pockets right inside their mouth right here, and they shove bits of root and food in there like a chipmunk sort of, but it's very, very pronounced. Like I can get my whole thumb into the one side of the pocket gopher's pocket right there. Well done, Kate. So look, she needs to send me a text message to my cell phone.
Should I just do the info at Can Catch It?
Yeah, she can do that. Yeah, you can send us your personal Don't put your personal contact in there. Yeah. But we'll mail this out today. I'll take it to the post office today and get it to you. Well done, Kate.
Drop you the email contact, and then Michael will reach out to you on the phone. You can talk.
No, if you're going to email Can Catch It, just give me all your information.
Okay.
Name, address, and your cell phone number. Way to go, Kate.
I don't like the applause one.
Name is Artemis. He's starting to put a little bit of weight on. He's looking pretty good. He is a classic ball python. One of the animal care technicians said that he had a little spot on him on his belly. And so I think they're talking about this red discoloration right here.
Let me get a peeky poo.
So, right in there. Does that look discolored to you? I don't see any other spot.
Maybe a wee bit. Let me see it again.
Right there. Right here I'm looking at. What do you think? What do y'all think? Does it look red to you? Well, I'm going to put cream on him anyway because I got him out.
Cream it up.
We'll talk about might be the spurs that he's got.
Well, could be. So, can y'all see the vestige of those legs that they used to be?
vestige.
The vestige.
I didn't
of
know
those
this was a
legs?
thing on snakes.
Yeah. So you see those little spurs right there? Those used to be legs way back when.
There's little tiny spurs that used to be legs.
Yeah. So anyway, we're gonna put some cream on him. And whether he has a problem here or not, we're gonna fix it. So we have several different morphs. Y'all didn't know there's like 4,000 different color morphs of ball pythons now. And this is the classic look. What a wild ball python looks like.
No, this was a rescue, what, a month or two ago?
I think it's going on 2 months,
But-
maybe a month.
He's starting to fill out. He's a lot thicker than what he was even just 2 months ago.
Yeah, he is starting to put on a little bit of weight. So if you guys have problems with skin conditions on your reptiles, highly recommend getting your vet to prescribe to you some silver sulfidine cream. It's a little expensive, but it lasts a long time. So it's good stuff, really good stuff. Now, last time I walked off and left the snake on the table, somebody made a short making fun of me for leaving a snake on the
Yeah,
table.
Rosie just hung out in the office with me for like 2 hours while I was editing. I didn't even know.
Just so you know, nobody knew she was there.
She was in a hide like the whole time. So like you
Yeah,
walked
she was
by, you
just
just saw a
hiding
hide
out.
on the table.
Yeah. Isn't that the cutest little face? Look at that. Just a cutie cute.
Great poser.
Yeah. I love
Wow.
that.
He let me get really close up to the camera last time we had him out too.
Yeah. So good looking snake. All right. Well, tell you what, Cole, why don't you entertain us with a story about what it's like to live at the Wildlife Command Center 24/7.
Yeah, that's a thing. If you guys didn't know, I actually live here at Wildlife Command Center. I'm kind of a previous full-time nomad. Before working with Wildlife Command Center, I was a bus lifer. I have another YouTube channel out there in the midst that had a whole bunch of my individualized vlogging content for my bus life days. So I've been a full-time YouTuber for maybe 4.5 years now. Left my old corporate job, but I've got a 21-foot travel camper. It's a Coleman, and I got it here at the center in our large bay area or kind of big shop area.
Keeps
But
it looking nice.
yeah, been working on getting things really spruced up around here, and it's fun. So Taylor, she lives here full time, and
I'm gonna go get a lemur. Whoever jumps on me first, we're gonna bring her
it's
in.
a little crazy. It's like with anything when you work and live somewhere full time, you end up getting like just a crazy overdose of everything. But if there's something specific going on with a need with one of the animals, I'll be double checking things. I actually walked into the office this morning at 8 a.m. and Cricket was sitting on top of the lizard tank. So I'm usually that main point of contact. I'll come in and see if something crazy has happened. And but she was perfectly fine. Just sometimes that falconry knot gets loose. Had a little fly around this morning. I watched her on the security camera. She was out for about 2.5 hours this morning. But yeah, it's fun. So I enjoyed myself. I get to do some fires in the backyard with my kangaroo buddy, Tyson. That was also a question I was going to pose to you guys. Is I told Michael I was going to let our subscribers pick which animal tattoo I get next. So the plan is to fill out this arm with animal tattoos. So if you have an idea of what animal I should get tattooed next, to let me know. And probably from the comments that we get in this live here, I'll make a poll this week on our community page, and then you guys get to decide what ink I'm getting next. I have no clue what possibly could be going on with the lemurs right now, but Michael is wrangling one of our ring-tailed lemurs, and just have a little play date, a little fun. Speak of the devil.
Kind of the devil.
Hey, look, it's Loki. It's almost like I knew exactly which
It is
lemur
Loki.
was coming here.
Oh, is she pooping?
Yep, she is a pooping right now.
Well, usually when you first catch a lemur out of their enclosure, would you grab me one of those leashes? I want to keep her. Settle down, settle down. She, if you could just.
You want that one?
More poop. So much poop.
That one.
Right there. Can you put that in? There you go. Yep, watch yourself.
Oh, sorry.
Hey. There you go.
All right.
What do you think? So
Easy.
lemurs are very bouncy, like super bouncy. But they're from Madagascar, and so sometimes when the temperatures get down a little bit, I worry about them. Your poop really stinks. Could you give me a
It
little
always
towel, because she's peeing all over me, and she's pooped right there. Look, there's a nice poop.
Oh, more poop on your shirt. No.
Let's start there.
Oh God.
And we're gonna line
See, this is why my wife makes me
It's on me.
decompress,
Hold on, working on cold.
decontaminate. Oh, can you help me get it off of the leash, because she just pooped all over the leash. This is what it's like.
Listen to grown man Cole sing about poop.
Here.
I gagged. Gagged. I'm dying.
Don't die too much, Cole. We need you. I get you a different leash so you can watch.
I'll just wash it off. I would go wash the leash off and say, "Hey Cole, can you tell us a story?" He's gagging right now. This is kind of funny.
Little poopery.
Poopery. Hang on just a second. So one of their defense mechanisms is to poop diarrhea all over you whenever they're upset.
Oh man.
Just chill out. All right, there. Sorry about that diarrhea spasm.
Oh, I got more.
But the poop goes through two stages. First, it comes out pretty strong, pretty solid. Then it comes out extremely liquefied. But she'd already eaten this morning, so she had a gut full. But anyway, one of the things that I worry about the ring-tailed lemurs whenever it gets cold is I want to make sure that their extremities don't get frostbite on them. So it's important to look at them. They have finger pads just like we do, just little finger pads. Huh?
Step to your left.
We're cleaning up a little bit.
It's just like a poop swamp down
It
here.
is a poop swamp down here.
It is. It's not good.
It's all right, Loki.
It's on the table.
So normally when we get the lemurs out to do something, we take them out of their pen about an hour to 2 hours ahead of time. And that way we get past all of this outside. We leave them on their leash and we walk them around. Here, you can have this. Hey, you want this? Loki, you want this? What if I eat it? Hey.
Oh, it smells
Hey,
great.
what if I-
Michael.
We get caught up on the chat.
Okay. I'm just calming her down a little bit.
I call Loki my crazy lemur girlfriend because she's always the first one to jump up on the front of the enclosure when you come out there, and first to greet you, first one to poop on you.
Definitely the first one to bite you.
Oh, yikes.
Yeah. Okay. Well, no tongue in the mouth, please. No.
Ugh,
What do you think?
I'm a little thrown off right now.
Can you recover, you think?
I think so.
All right. So anyway, I just want to check her extremities, make sure that her fingers are in good shape, you know, make sure that her ears look good. Here. And she does. She looks good. I also worry. I'm gonna touch her tail. She doesn't like that. Ringtail lemurs in general don't like you to touch their tail. But I need to look at it. So I worry about the very end of the tail because they do wrap their tail around themselves, but sometimes the very end of it can get frostbite. But she looks good, so I don't think she has any issue with that. Yeah, that looks really good. And then the last thing, she's like, "What you got, buddy?"
You can have one of mine.
Oh,
Well, we wants to know how you can live here and not deal with the poop hole.
Yeah, I was going to answer that. So, one, my position here is videographer, YouTuber, editor, with another like 6 different hats on. So, I am not the primary poop cleaner upper. That's why we have an animal care team. But I do help oversee a lot with the animals. But poop is not my general expertise. Like,
well, runny lemur poop is not the most pleasant.
like I'll put it this way: I've never wanted to apply to be an animal care tech anywhere. But as far as from videoing the moments of pooping, I'm 100% okay with. It's actually my specialty. If you need a guy to film some pooping, I'm your guy.
You're the guy.
Yeah, that's not weird.
Not weird at all. So anyway, you can see Loki has calmed down now, and she's enjoying her little Fruit Loops.
They really like the human interaction, so she keeps looking back at me. Like, she'd much rather eat one and lick one out of someone's hand than just have one in her hands herself.
Yeah.
Oh, Scott had a good one. He said he's your number 2 guy.
Very good, Scott. That's it. He's the number 2 guy. That's awesome. All right. Well, I'm gonna go put Loki up now. Come on. And then we'll come back, do some questions and answers, and then we're gonna wrap up this live because we usually do about 3 animals.
Was it one of the hawks that pooped on Jason Momoa?
No, it was Queenie.
Or was it Queen?
Peed on him.
Peed on him?
Yeah, so we were out doing a Comic-Con, and Jason Momoa, who has 2 handlers, anytime he's out in public, he has 2 handlers.
People.
Yeah, they're human. They handle him. But anyway, he motioned one of his handlers to come over and ask us if we'd bring our ringtail lemur over because he wanted to take a picture of it. And so we're sitting there, and I was pretty starstruck because he is a big guy, you know, and standing there. Ow!
Oh, I saw that one.
Standing there, and we're just looking at what's going on, and all of a sudden, Queenie was on his shoulder, and all of a sudden, Jason had this weird look in his eyes, and I go, "Did she just pee on you?" And he goes, "Oh." I looked on the back, and he had this big, huge pee mark going down his shirt. His handlers were mortified.
One of my other favorite videos we have on the YouTube channel, which most of you probably have not seen, is Michael going to Comic-Con as himself. So after the pilot release on Discovery Plus for Bare Hands Rescue, he got invited to Cape Con in Cape Girardeau, south of here, and they asked him to go as himself and walk around with the birds there. And it was also with the Missouri Department of Conservation.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
And so people were having some great interactions with one of our Harris Hawks. I think Jet came out with us. And then we got around to, it was one of the Power Rangers, I think.
Yes.
I can't remember which Power Rangers it was. I know one of them recently passed away. It wasn't him. But we were just kind of in front of his booth answering some questions, and Michael didn't realize it, but the hawk pooped directly on one of his autographed pictures.
Yeah.
So that's in the video.
I didn't recognize. I didn't even realize it until we were looking at the video.
We were already like walking away from
and they
the
didn't
booth.
say anything about it. Like they didn't say anything to us.
Going.
Anyway. Yeah, so let's do some questions and answering, and then we will wrap this up. And Kate, if you've already sent in your information to info@cancatchit.com, I'll box up this prize package that you won. And just so y'all know, this is what Kate won: a signed autograph card for Bare Hands Rescue, 2 bags of dark roast coffee, a Wildlife Command Center pin, a Wildlife Command Center challenge coin. To me, it's the most valuable thing in here. And then a multi-tool or a Wildlife Command Center pocket knife, which is a pretty good package. This is the best one we put together so
Also,
far.
a whole canister of Solar Seal 900, which is
Our
just
#1 sealant that
one of
we
the
go
most
to.
utilized tools we have out in the field by our technicians. This will run you like what, like 19 bucks?
We're not going to send that.
Okay, never mind.
Anyway, I appreciate you guys being on the live today.
Somebody asked how many lemurs do we
It's been
have?
fun. So right now we have 5 lemurs. We've got our oldest lemur is Snow, and then our matriarch of the whole troop, her name is Queenie. We've got a male, one male. He's intact. His name is Elijah. We have 2 younger females, Selma and Loki, who was in here just now. These lemurs are the nicest of the lemurs. Prior to them, we had 4 other lemurs, but they were so aggressive and mean. And you've probably seen some wildlife rehabilitators, some exotic wildlife rehabilitators that have lemurs and they have difficulties dealing with them. But our 5 they make a good troop and they have a good time out there. It's fun to watch them. We have a really large outdoor facility built for them.
So this week, probably going to do a falconry video.
All right, a falconry video.
I know I kind of teased you guys. I gave you part 1 of our big salmon fishing. If you haven't checked out the new series, Bare Hands Beran explores the Pacific Northwest.
It's some incredible videos. You'll really like them.
I've really had a blast editing that together.
I've had a blast watching and rewatching them because I was there and reliving them through the video is fun.
Yeah, but part 2 will be coming out ahead. You wouldn't believe how much editing. You'd believe it because you see me here editing.
Right.
But it's a big, tall task, and part 2 is another huge task. So we're going to do a falconry video, a new update with bolt cutter.
Lucy.
From the new filming that we've been doing with that bird.
Yeah.
And it'll be a good one. So they'll be coming probably Saturday.
How old do you expect the lemurs in captivity will live?
Lemurs in captivity. In Madagascar, again, lemurs will live 12 to 14 years, but in captivity, they'll push 30 fairly easily if they're taken care of properly. We do have one older lemur that we got her when she was really old, so we don't know how old she is, but you can visibly tell that she's at least twice as old as the other lemurs. So I'd say she's probably 12, 14 years old. But in captivity, they'll push 30, 35 sometimes.
Snow's a sweetheart.
She is. Snow's a very gentle soul.
She came from a difficult previous owner too. So
Yeah, she's been passed around quite a bit. She was a lemur producing lemur, like puppy milk kind of stuff, for a bit. And then anyway, I don't want to get her whole story, but anyway, it's a tough life. So she only has half a tail. All of her glands sag, like really bad. Her neck gland, her thyroids, and all the different parts. So
Michael's kind of a point of contact. It seems like you're a point of contact for Missouri Department of Conservation.
Yeah.
Like when they get, I guess you're the lemur guy in their head.
In their minds, yeah. Well, because we have so many interactions with the lemurs.
They hit a mountain lion, got tagged by a vehicle like 2 nights ago. I was like, man, I'd love for them to call us out on that mountain lion and see if we could track that thing. That'd be a great video.
I don't know if they will because there's only 2 agencies in our town, St. Louis, that have tranquilizer guns, and one of them is the Missouri Department of Conservation. So they would probably try to do it themselves. However, I think they probably felt like if it had life-threatening injuries, that it would just die, and they would find out later. I got a little bloody blood where
Lemurs have really sharp teeth.
Yeah, they do. And she bit me in the ear because I was restraining her more than she wanted to participate.
If one of our lemurs was going to have offspring, how many babies would they have at once?
So typically lemurs have 1 baby a year at a time. We're not really pushing for babies because we really don't need any babies. But if we did, we'd raise one. We'd raise it but we want that natural interaction and that natural placing to happen in there. So, you know, they have one at a time. Sometimes they can have twins, but they really can't support twins. If they had twins, we'd definitely have to pull one of them and hand raise it, which makes for a better lemur for educational purposes.
Oh, this has been. I'm just getting over the whole
Poop,
lemur thing.
lemur poop.
That was fun.
Well, I think we should wrap it up for today. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, we're pretty much right at an hour here. I've had a blast.
A little bit short of an hour.
55 minutes.
Very nice. I think that's a perfect time for a live. You know,
Someone
it's
did
about
ask.
an hour.
Don't. Belinda.
Hey, Belinda.
She
Yeah, Belinda
she
Marks.
She did ask about how we met. I don't know if we want to get into that on this live or not.
Sure, we could touch in on that. So you know, we met through a mutual acquaintance in the entertainment industry. At the time, I had gone through quite a few videographers trying to interview people, trying to figure somebody that would fit the bill, somebody that could edit the videos in a way that made it entertaining. And Michael Francis of Michael Francis Presents.
Great guy. Follow him.
Yeah, he is great. He is really great. Right here in St. Louis. He said, you know, you need to meet Cole worldwide. He's just coming off this thing he's been doing, and he might be looking for something. And so Cole and I, we met up at the, did we meet at the premiere for Bare Hands Rescue?
Yeah. So the very backstory is previous to my bus lifing and nomad days. I ran a networking group in St. Louis called St. Louis Film Everything. And it was originally a meetup group.
Mm-hmm.
And I grew that to 1,400 members in St. Louis.
It was meetup when I was going.
Yeah.
But you weren't there. You were doing bus life.
Yeah, I think I just left to my bus life. And that's when you and Michael originally met.
Me and Michael Francis. Yes.
So potentially in a really weird world, if before I even met Michael or knew him or even thought about that I'd even be here doing all this stuff, I had set up that networking group, which he and the Michaels got connected on.
Mm-hmm.
And then 2 years later, I stumbled back in town with my tail between my cheeks.
Literally stumbled back in town.
Yeah, wild. And then we started working with each other. But it's hard to find, you know, everyone does social media these days. You know, this is my videography.
It's a competitive place.
Rant, and everyone is like, oh, everyone does it, but there's not too many people that are doing it full time, and like whether it's with a company or individualized channel, like it's really hard to be successful and make good content. And so luckily Michael had stumbled through a couple videographers by the time that we got together, and we originally set up a 90-day contract with each other. I was like, there's no point in us talking about long term until we can decide if we hate each other or not.
Yeah. Luckily, Cole and I have great chemistry. Like we get along really well. We get along well. We work well. When we travel really well. And nobody hustles like we hustle when we travel.
Yeah, it's a lot of go. And I've kind of after like the 90-day period originally with Michael, I remember telling Michael, it's like, I feel like everything I've done over the last 5 years has trained myself for this job. Just complete displacement, huge adventures, ridiculous stuff. Go.
Mm-hmm.
So, but it's been fun.
And we've had some huge adventures.
It's hilarious because as much content as we have on the YouTube channel,
400 something videos now.
Well,
or is it less than that?
I privated some of the real old stuff.
Okay.
So I don't think we have that much of a library, but from the content that we've done together, we're probably approaching over 100 long form videos. But if we'd have another full-time editor, we'd probably have even double the content. These guys haven't even seen us jump out of a plane before.
Oh yeah, we did that, didn't we?
We've gone gator hunting in Florida.
Yeah.
Like there's so many
Airboat in
adventures
Florida
that I've got on this little hard drive right here. But it's hard to pick and choose, you know. Only so much time a day. Michael's like, we'll get it all done.
Just do it all. Why are we sitting on it? They need
Nice.
to see it.
Yeah.
Anyway, I appreciate you guys. Thanks for hanging out with us. We're going to do this every Wednesday. We're not set on a time yet. Did y'all get y'all throw some times out there again, just so it's at the bottom of the chat so we can see it.
Okay.
When's the best time that you think?
You can also continue to put the animal. I pitched them on the animal tattoo thing. I said, throw those in the comments, and then I'll make a poll this week, and you guys can vote on what my next
On the
tattoo.
community page?
Yeah.
All right.
Michael
Cool.
and I, we've got matching ones too. Show them the lemur.
Yeah, we got matching ones. Where is my
We
lemur?
both have lemurs. Sarah, Tim. Who else got one with us? Corinne. Yeah.
Yep. And then I've got a snake tattoo. That's this opposite side of Taylor's snake tattoo of the mouth. We got stuff. And then let's see. Corinne has this tattoo with me. We went and got these tattoos together right here.
I think Cole needs that one too.
Yeah.
I'm
Tribal hawk.
I am thinking about. I really like the whole outline thing we got going on. I'd like to keep this one the same, but I've got a whole bit many other body parts. So
Got a lot of
How
canvas.
many?
Yeah, cool. All right, guys.
thanks.
See y'all later. Y'all have a good day. Have a wonderful weekend coming up. I appreciate y'all spending some time with us, and we'll see you later.
See you on the short shelf. Peace.